The bill for the road to the Junos. Certainly, it's a slew of concerts that are taking place right now into next week, leading up to the big show. Patrick Massey joins me now as a Canadian country musician. Crystal Dos Santos also joins us now as singer, performer, creator, and singer in Orchard Sky Band. Wonderful to see both of you.
Hey Angie, how are you?
Good morning.
I'm good. I'm good. Patrick, I want to start with you first. You were actually, I should say, it was last night that you
Yeah.
performed as part of the Road to the Junos. Talk to me about that. That's a huge, you were so excited about it. You're really celebrating this one.
Well, it's been a long time coming. I mean, it's been a long road, I must say, to the Junos. But
Mm.
yeah, it happened last night in Edmonton, and it was fantastic at the Starlight Room, and it was awesome. I mean, it was surreal to actually be doing one of the concerts after many years of struggling. After coming out in 2002. It was the first time I've ever been invited to an awards week to be part of it officially.
Hmm.
So it was pretty exciting. So I was over the moon last night, and hopefully it will lead to more opportunities in the future.
Yeah,
So
and it's having that opportunity, and Crystal will get you to comment on this as well, to chime in on this. It's part of that bigger conversation, that bigger picture around diversity and inclusivity. Crystal, what do you want to see, looking at where you are, have been in your career, where you want things to go?
I mean, I think where I want things to go is that we have just an absolute ocean of talent and artists,
Yeah.
but I think that it's time for the ranks to start being more inclusive. For example, music programmers on radio stations and people who are booking the shows and promoters to be people of color, to be more minority type people so that they start seeing and including the people that have been missed for many years.
And Patrick, what are your thoughts as well, as you say that you hope that this is an opportunity that's going to open the door? But talk to me about the struggle. And I know that you've expressed it, there's a bit of fear as well.
yeah, I mean, I think it's, to speak to what Crystal just said, I mean, the Black Opry was around before the Grand Ole Opry, right? So these people were marginalized further and pushed out of the industry. And I agree with her. There still is a big and long way to go with inclusion in the industry to include any marginalized artists. And, they deserve these platforms. And it's kind of why I created this other showcase. The inclusive music piece was because I saw that lacking in the industry, that there was no opportunity for certain, artists who were marginalized. And I didn't even like that term marginalized, but you have to admit it
Hmm.
because that's actually who we are. We're not given the same opportunities as everybody else, and we have to bring them to the forefront. So people that are, leading the way as a pioneer, like Crystal and other artists in this country and around the world, need to be applauded for standing up and wanting to be treated fairly and equally, because that's every human's right, right?
And
It's their birthright.
exactly,
And the industry should reflect.
and having that true representation, and not a sense of tokenism. Crystal, what are your thoughts on that? Because there's one thing to say, well, we're going to put this artist on stage and look, we're representing diversity, versus we're truly celebrating this artist and several artists, ability and career and talent, for what it is versus checking a box.
Absolutely. Tokenism, has happened for decades, obviously. But I find that tokenism is like, empty calories, if that's a
Hmm.
good way of associating it. It's not the real sort of nutritious meat and potatoes of what a real representation can achieve. And I think that when real representation occurs, then we see all the success to follow. We see all the support. We see all of the continued sort of success and support that's happening, as opposed to, well, I showed up at this one thing one time and then nothing ever happened. So I think that's where we need to move toward and be able to support our
Hmm.
artists as a whole industry,
As a
like,
collective.
a through thread,
Yeah.
not just one little crumb.
We will be celebrating, of course, the incredible talent that'll be on that stage at the Junos. And I'm so honored to have both of you to talk about this, two wonderful talents as well. Patrick Massey, Crystal Dos Santos. So good to speak with both of you. Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.